Hello everyone and namaskar to my third video. I am in Kathmandu. I am at Swayambhunath temple in Swayambhu, Kathmandu today, and I wanted to take this time to talk about how I ended up here, my story of studying abroad and living abroad while studying online, and how I can give some tips to others who might want to take a less traditional route of going to university in the United States, getting a job, and then maybe traveling some. But because I think there's a lot of important skills you can learn and a lot you can get out of traveling while you're studying in university, and how they can help you move forward a ton in the future. So first I just want to talk about my story from high school. In high school I was kind of like the average student. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something with helping people, and I had worked on a lot of political campaigns during high school. And I knew a lot of great teachers, and I got this opportunity to come teach in Nepal. And to me it was kind of like a no-brainer. I didn't accept it right away, but it was kind of always in my mind like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And I'm really happy that I did. I didn't want to go directly to university, so in 2019, after graduating high school, I got this great opportunity where a really nice man paid for me to fly here and stay here and teach. And I got to know Nepal and Nepali culture, and I really just discovered what it felt like to travel to a different part of the world and live in a different part of the world when I was young. From there, I spent 5 months for my first time, and mainly it was teaching, working in children's homes with an NGO. Now NGOs, that's a whole nother video I can make about. But I'm really thankful for the opportunity to be able to travel in the first place and get a look at what was possible. After that, I went back to the United States. I went back in November 2019, just before 2020. And I started university, actually, at University of Missouri-Mizzou in January 2020, right before COVID lockdowns happened. And I ended up only being at university for about 2 months before we were sent home. Now, I'm really grateful for that opportunity to at least experience university and get the culture and the experience of going to college. Even if it was for a short time, I did get the college experience, and I think that is, it's fun and it's somewhat valuable. You can learn things. And I don't push anyone away from getting a college experience. But after that, we went on lockdown, and I was online. I was studying online. I finished that semester. And like all university students, I was just at home studying online, pretty bored. I didn't go out during what I call first lockdown, when COVID was first bad. So I was mainly just staying at home studying. And during that time, I thought about Nepal a lot. I thought about my life and what I wanted. And I realized that I wanted to have a life where I traveled. I knew I needed to get a degree, but I knew that my life should involve traveling, seeing other cultures, because there's so many skills I realized that I could get and learn and obtain from traveling. So after about a year studying online, I was talking to my college advisor, and I figured out an online study degree program where I could study completely online, even after classes went back into in-person because of COVID. And I decided to move to Nepal in January of 2021. After coming back, I was here for about 5 months until second lockdown here, when cases skyrocketed and they got really bad, and the conditions here got really poor with COVID. And so I went back to the US for a few months to work, and then I came back in September of 2021 to live here more. So my story of how I ended up coming here and studying here was changed a lot by COVID. I knew I wanted to travel, come back to Nepal again, but I didn't know if I wanted to live here. And COVID kind of just gave me that push, and really it wasn't that important to me. I had already experienced what college was for most people, college culture in the United States. And I felt like I wanted more at that point. And in this video, I want to talk to you about how to do that for yourself, how you can affordably study online and travel wherever you like. And so I've compiled a list of some tips that you can follow so that you yourself can do it if you feel like you're ready to take that step. So for anyone who's considering studying online, I'm not pushing anyone away from a college experience, and I do think a university degree, a bachelor's degree, is very important for nowadays getting well-paying jobs in any sector. It can just improve your pay much better to where you have a lot more opportunities in the future. And that's why I've always listened to my family about needing to get my degree and always wanting to move forward in that process. But I do have to say that there are a lot of skills you can earn from traveling, and if you have that feeling, it can be very intimidating to think about moving abroad and not having that same family and friend support structure that you have when you're at university. But if you're ready to take that step, I encourage you to move forward and take that step. Now, when we're talking about studying online, it can be different for everyone. I myself I was studying international studies with a minor in business, and I switched to an online degree program in communications. Now, some majors and some focuses of study won't be able to study online as easily. Like one class I took while traveling last semester was a geology class, and I had to carry around this box of rocks. And if I was a geology major, science majors, anything that involves a lot of labs, it's more difficult to travel and study online. But if you find yourself in a major like humanities, social sciences, business, things that are mainly lecture and conversation focused and about having dialogue with other people in your class and your professors, those are great majors where it's very possible to study online. And I encourage you to talk to your college advisor and see if there are any online study degree programs that would be possible for you to take. But that's only half of it. Studying online is only half of it, and it can be very intimidating because there's all these money and financial matters that you have to figure out. And for me, that took a lot because I was an in-person student at my university, and when COVID happened, whew, bro, these steps are kicking my ass today. This is Monkey Temple. Swayambhu Nath is up there. Very beautiful in Swayambhu. Monkeys everywhere, but so many steps. And it's just the morning. But when I was figuring it out, I was an in-person student, and it took a good few months of me talking with a lot of different advisors, financial, academic advisors, to figure out if I would be able to switch to distance learning and still get the same government financial support that I do now. And actually I was able to switch, and I don't pay any tuition for my college degree. I have to buy my books, of course, but other than that, I'm studying completely free online through my state university in Missouri. Now, once you figure out if studying online is like a viable option for you, the next step is figuring out where you want to go and how to travel. I myself, the first time I had left the country at all, visited any other country, was when I came to Nepal the first time with that opportunity right out of high school. And it was intimidating for me, but it was also a great chance for me to get to know Nepal and realize that this is a place that I'd want to live and be a part of the culture here. And that's something really important. Now, I do think that Asia gives a lot of cheap, affordable countries that are also safe and have really good options for living long term in the country. And so I do push. I mean, I know a lot of people in the US, when they think of studying abroad, they think of going to Europe. And Europe, I do plan to travel to Europe at some point, but Europe is also a more expensive country, and the cost of living is much higher. And for me, when I'm living in Nepal, I can budget pretty well to where I can live here for a while and then go back to the US and work some, and it all works out well. But first you have to look at where you want to go. Get to know the culture of a place, Don't be afraid to do lots of research and take your time when thinking about where you really want to live. Maybe it's somewhere you've been before, maybe it's not. Now, this can be a very intimidating step for some people, especially if you're not quite sure exactly what experience you want. One thing I do suggest using is a program that I have not used yet, but I do plan on using. It's called WOOF, which is Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms. And I think to register and sign up, it's about $60. But after that, they have what I would call like placements in over 100, 150, I don't know, a lot of countries where you can go, and after you register, you can go and stay on these locals' farms and work for them and stay in their house and be fed for free. And I think it's a great way to go to a new country and learn the culture and learn the aspects of living there, whether you would like it, and get to know the area more so that then you're comfortable to travel on your own alone. Now, again, I've had the best luck traveling in Nepal, because Nepal is a super safe and super cheap country to travel in. But from here, I've built those skills that I know, and I'm comfortable to travel to other countries now. So that's one program I would definitely look at using. Now, when it comes to budgeting, I do really suggest that you stay in one country for a longer period of time, whatever that means to you, because your expenses, your biggest expenses when traveling are going to be your flights and your visas. And if you can stay in one country longer, your visa costs will be lower and your flight costs will obviously be lower. Luckily, Nepal is a great country for that, because there are so many diverse environments and cultures just in this one country, even though it's pretty small, that you can travel a lot and still get a different experience wherever you go. So I've been all across Nepal, and everywhere you go, there's a different culture, different traditions, different customs that they follow, different food, and you feel like you're in a different place in all these different places you go. But they all speak Nepali, which helps a lot. Now, the more specifically when it comes to budgeting, I myself, you always hear that it costs $10,000 a year to travel the world, which definitely doesn't do that. But like, if you want to travel all across the world in 1 year, then yeah, $10,000, sure. But you can travel for much less than that in 1 year. But I usually want to have about $6,000 to $10,000 in savings in order to feel comfortable traveling anywhere in the world, where if I had anything that went wrong, I can get myself out of it. If I need a flight home immediately, I can get it. If I need to buy a motorcycle while I'm in a country, I can buy one. And then your transportation costs are going to be a lot less as well. But if you can figure out your budget, if you can figure out how you're going to study online, if you can figure out where you want to go and what you want to see, then your opportunities are really endless, and you can build a lot of important skills on that. Like, I myself, I'm studying online, and a lot of students say they don't like studying online, it's too difficult. But when you're traveling, you learn really good time management skills and personal development skills and communication skills. You learn how to understand other people and their cultures, and that can help you immensely in understanding other people's perspectives and problem solving. And ultimately, all those skills will go into you being a better candidate for whatever job you want in the future, and you'll be a better person because of it in the end. And so I always really encourage, because in the US, if you're from the US, because this video mainly applies to people back in the US, because you have so much power in your passport. The US passport, you can go almost anywhere. And a lot of times I don't think people realize how useful and powerful that is, because a lot of people cannot go just about anywhere with their passport. It's much more difficult. So you have a lot of opportunities to travel and expand your mindset and your perspective, and those will help you immensely in the future when you're trying to get jobs. I hope this video today has been useful. I wanted to go on a ride to Dading yesterday. It's about 2 hours away from Kathmandu, but I don't know if you can tell, it rained here recently, and it snowed in a lot of places in Nepal, but it was pouring here all day yesterday, so cold. So we canceled that. I canceled that with my friend. But in a few days, I'll be heading to Pokhara. I've got a lot of travel vlogs coming your way. We're gonna do some bungee jumping. We're gonna do some paragliding, because yes, I haven't even done that yet, but I've been here for so long. So we're gonna do that with some friends in Pokhara, and we'll go from there. I'll talk to you guys later.